What's the #1 reason most people abandon a weight loss diet? Hunger. But what is hunger exactly? Is there any way to lose weight in a healthy way without feeling hungry? Today you'll learn how to keep hunger at bay so you can achieve weight loss success. Hi, I'm Franziska Spritzler, a registered dietitian and certified diabetes educator. In this video, I'll provide tips for managing hunger when trying to lose weight. Let's start with a fundamental question. What is hunger? Hunger is one of the most basic human instincts. It drives you to seek the energy your body requires to breathe, move, and perform hundreds of other important functions. Sometimes your stomach may rumble, or you may feel an empty sensation that alerts you that it's time to eat. People can generally start feeling hungry anywhere from a couple of hours to more than 12 hours after eating. Several things can affect how hungry you feel and how soon hunger occurs after you eat. These can include how many calories you consumed, the mix of protein, carbs, and fat at your meal, and your body's metabolic response. When talking about hunger, it's important to differentiate it from something that is quite similar, although not the same: appetite. Appetite is a desire to eat, which is often prompted by seeing or smelling delicious foods. This can happen as you walk by a bakery and get a whiff of freshly baked bread, or see a mouth-watering entree through a restaurant window. Even if you didn't feel hungry before, you might very well feel like eating. By contrast, hunger tells your body that it needs food now, from any source that can provide it with energy, regardless of its appeal. An empty stomach triggers the release of hunger hormones, mainly ghrelin, that signal your body to rev up its production of stomach acid so your body is ready to receive and digest food. After eating, ghrelin levels decrease, levels of fullness hormones increase, and you feel satisfied. These hormones likely played very important roles in our evolutionary past. Hunger prompted our hunter-gatherer ancestors to seek food for fuel and nourishment. And since we need to eat to survive, we seem to have evolved to find it pleasurable as well. That feeling of pleasure is what drives appetite. So hunger and appetite are indeed linked. Understanding the difference between hunger and appetite can be helpful when going through your weight loss journey. Being hungry isn't the only reason you may want to eat. However, you should try to only eat when you're hungry, especially if you're trying to lose weight. So confirming that what you're feeling is truly hunger before you start eating is key. To understand whether you are really hungry, ask yourself, could I eat a meal of protein and vegetables? If the answer is yes, then you are hungry and should eat until you're satisfied. If the answer is no, then you may feel like eating for a different reason. Eating for reasons that often feel like hunger but aren't include eating due to stress, eating to relieve sadness or loneliness, eating out of boredom, eating in response to external cues, such as the aroma of fresh bread or the sight of a mouth-watering dish, as I mentioned earlier, and eating out of habit in particular circumstances or times of day. Question: how can you lose weight while enjoying tasty food that prevents hunger and helps you feel full? For many people, the answer is eating a very low-carb, higher-protein diet. When people properly follow a very low-carb diet, they often find that they're just not very hungry anymore. This may be partly due to having higher blood levels of ketones, which are the energy compounds made from fat in your liver. When carb intake is very low, your liver ramps up ketone production, and you enter a state of ketosis, where ketones and fatty acids become the main source of energy. Research suggests that, for many people, being in ketosis can help suppress appetite during and after weight loss. Another thing that helps tame hunger is getting plenty of protein at meals. As your body digests protein foods, like meat, fish, eggs, and tofu, your metabolism increases and you feel comfortably full and satisfied. Studies show that high-protein diets can help people eat less over the course of a day without deliberately restricting calories. Like ketones, higher protein intake can reduce levels of the hunger hormone ghrelin and increase levels of hormones that help you feel full. But how much protein and carbs does each food contain? In our app and on our website, you can find our visual guides, where we provide you with the carb and protein counts for different foods, such as meat, dairy, and vegetables. And speaking of vegetables, be sure to include some non-starchy types at your meals, such as greens, cauliflower, broccoli, and asparagus, among others. Not only are they very low in calories and rich in vitamins and minerals, but they also contain fiber that can help you feel full by stretching your stomach. What about fat, the remaining macronutrient? A low-fat approach isn't a good strategy for conquering hunger. Even on a higher protein, low-carb diet, most of your calories should come from fat. Fat adds richness and improves the taste of your food, which can help you stick with low-carb eating long-term. Plus, enjoying food contributes to that feeling of being satisfied after a meal. You don't have to add loads of fat to get these effects, though. Just include a tablespoon or two of butter, cream, olive oil, or coconut oil to prepare your food and enhance its flavor. Another benefit of following a low-carb diet is that you automatically avoid many foods that can make you want to eat more. Foods that are high in refined carbs and fat are undeniably tasty. However, cakes, cookies, ice creams, and similar treats provide plenty of calories with little to no protein or other essential nutrients. These highly palatable foods can drive you to continue eating in an attempt to meet your all-important nutrition needs. Plus, in some people, the high-sugar, high-fat combination can trigger cravings by activating the brain's reward centers, making it all but impossible to have just one bite, even after a nourishing meal. Avoid these foods altogether to keep appetite in check, prevent cravings, and lose weight in a healthy, pleasurable way. When you start to feel hunger or what seems like hunger, but you're unsure of the cause, turn your attention to the 4 R's: replenish, rehydrate, redirect, and relax. Replenish. First, make sure your meals are low in carbs and that you're getting enough protein, fiber, and fat at meals. On a very low-carb diet, you should never leave the table feeling hungry. So take another serving of protein or vegetables, perhaps with a little bit of healthy fat if you need to. Rehydrate. Could it be that your body needs water rather than food? Sometimes it's hard to distinguish between hunger and thirst. If your last meal was rich in protein, high-fiber vegetables, and some fat, but you still feel you need something, try drinking a glass of water, a cup of tea, or another low-carb beverage. Redirect. If you've eaten a nourishing meal with a hydrating beverage, but find yourself wanting to eat an hour or so later, try to redirect your focus. Turn your attention to work or getting tasks done around the house. Call a friend to talk or curl up with a good book. It really doesn't matter what you do, as long as it distracts you from thinking about food until your next meal. Relax. Even though cravings and hunger pangs occur much less often on a keto or low-carb diet, they can still happen, whether you're new to this way of eating or have been following it for a while. Analyzing these hunger-like feelings may help you identify what's behind them. However, some days you may just feel hungrier and want to eat a bit more than usual, and that's okay. It happens. Just do your best to feed your body nourishing food when you're truly hungry, enjoy the eating experience, and stop as soon as you feel full. To sum it up, you can curb hunger and cravings while trying to lose weight. In addition to eating a nutritious keto or low-carb diet, it's important to learn to distinguish true hunger from wanting to eat for other reasons. Also, make sure to avoid foods that stimulate your appetite or trigger cravings. Above all, honor your hunger by feeding your body what it needs to be healthy, strong, and satisfied. For additional advice about how to keep hunger under control, see our full guide, How to Manage Hunger When Trying to Lose Weight. For even more information and guidance, sign up for a free trial, where you'll have access to meal plans with shopping lists, our personalized meal planner, members-only weight loss courses, and many other exclusive benefits. Find out more at dietdoctor.com.